When the survey was done, I got a lot out of it. The approach that American Management took kind of exposed our weaknesses, our strengths, and where to attack and fix the business. So it was very helpful. Well, I felt pretty comfortable with the initial contacts, and they made sense. And I felt I knew what was wrong with the business. I just didn't know how to attack it, fix it, implement it, all the things I needed to correct it. My company gained an awful lot from this project, and most essentially is stability. Financial stability. We found out where we were leaking money, bleeding money, actually, and put a course of correction in place with a pretty solid plan. Well, this project really helped us improve our profits, and it did translate into a lot of profits. We went through the expense side of the P&L, and where we had to improve, some finite moves that worked, and over a 3-year period, we discussed a $1.8 million hit to the bottom line, and that in fact happened. It's not a humbling experience at all. It's a fact-finding, great educational, and it contributes to a success story. Don't be embarrassed. They don't embarrass you. They just put together a strategic plan that you can see implemented pretty quick, and you can also see the results rather quick. Well, after we did the initial project in 1997, and it was very successful like everybody else in the country, we got hit pretty hard in 2009 and 2011. We had to make some strategic moves, and one of the things that I had to do was get refinancing, and American Management came up and put together a package second to none that got us our refinancing done. It was a very difficult task that was made rather easy, and I couldn't have done it without them. We are in a position better than I've been in 35 years of business. The improvements were through, again, strategic cuts, strategic growth, and strategic efficiencies. So it's a combination. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of things that American Management brought to the table for us. The improvements that were initiated along with American Management for our operation were quite simple, but quite complicated. I know that's sounding kind of funny there, but the fact of the matter is we went back to the basics. We rewarded people who were successful in implementing the plan by giving them incentive pay, and they all hit the marks. So we went from a 55% efficiency in a shop up to an 87% efficiency within 8 months. And we rewarded other people in the staff for a quick turnaround in financial statements. It just gave me all the information I needed to make decisions. We were close to doing that before, but the biggest one came through the shop. The consultants were very professional, not intimidating, but forceful from the standpoint that these are the things that have to get done. They put a sense of urgency into everything that we do, and it was what I needed to have done. Without that, I don't know if I would be here. I implement the program. I expect results. When we don't get results, we try to educate and get that person in a better position to succeed, and they're made accountable. Everything is about accountability, and that, in essence, is what happened with my relationship with American Management. You know, I was a little cautious at first about the investments that we had to make, but I immediately saw a return on investment. The amount of money that I spent turned into what I had said earlier, $1.8 million to the bottom line for a very small investment comparatively. The accountability factor has really helped our operations from the standpoint we're not touching things 2 or 3 times. We're clear and decisive, and precise on what we expect from our employees, what we expect from myself, so that it's not, why didn't you do this over and over and over again? Here's your job, here's your task, here's what the ownership expects you to produce. And quite simply, that in itself makes the day more productive from the standpoint you're not repeating yourself. One of the things that happen when you go through this process, it really helped me to know what was going on in my company. I knew on a daily basis where we stood from the day before. I knew at the end of the month where we stand. We have production meetings and sales meetings that make everybody accountable to the success of the company. It's the magic formula, making everybody accountable for what they're supposed to do. Our employees were a little reluctant to see change come over the company, but as the time went on and they saw that they had an opportunity to make more money, they had an opportunity to see the changes and how we could reinvest into the company, and also that leadership. The biggest thing is you got to have a leader. So from a management style and standpoint, I wasn't leading the company correctly. So after they saw that it was a firm leadership, you do this, you do that, they responded great. We try to work really close with our customers, and I've interviewed a few of them, in a very casual manner, how are we doing? And they said, a lot of people around me have gone out of business, suffering from what we suffered with the economy, especially in New York State, where half our business was cut away just because of budget cuts from the state and municipalities. And I just tell them, we're very efficient in what we do, and we make sure that we have more than one revenue source. And they shake their heads. They're amazed at what this company has gone through. And quite honestly, it's pretty easy, and I'm having dealt with American management. Well, I would definitely like to mention that the process was fair and honest, not brutally honest, but direct. So what you can expect, and what I got out of it was, when it came time for them to leave, I said, where are you going? And they said, you're doing it. We don't need to be here anymore. And quite honestly, I just figured if the amount of money I paid just improved our bottom line, because now I wasn't paying them and I could do it all on my own. I would recommend this company to anybody who comes along, and we all pretty much have the same issues with business. The trouble is we just don't know how to fix it, and it's not our expertise. Nobody is going to be as compassionate or passionate about your business as the owner. You got to learn how to teach the people to get into the trenches with you and fix it. That's what American management did. I wouldn't be here, and I guarantee you I would not be here without them.